Here's a little white balance.
We should include that.
Yes, as all good productions should.
Yes. Well, welcome back to it's something to do.
Do you want to take that again, or no? That's how you want to do that.
Well, it's something to do with Peter Osterhaus and Bill Marfuji.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. It's funny. So like I stated before, I write things down, and what was funny that happened just as we were preparing for this one, I wrote on a because I use these little 3x5 cards, and it says, "I'd like one day of not bleeding," and it's covered in blood. Because literally, I cut my finger. I cut my finger. Bridget got a well, it's not her fault, but there was a glass cup that perfectly fit in the garbage disposal. I couldn't get out, so I was like, I got to break this thing and just pull the glass out of the garbage, the disposal. And so as I'm doing that, of course, I cut the shit out of my fingers, and so DNA.
Oh God! Wait, hold that up again. When you held that up, I thought that was like birds or like a floral pattern. I did not immediately recognize as blood smear.
That's me writing down, I want one day without bleeding.
So 7 days a week, something happens where blood is drawn.
Well, I was in the other. I stubbed my toe. I don't know if you know this about me, but I have size 14 feet. And so my feet are smashing into shit all the time. Like it just can't, I can't avoid it. So I'm walking around and I just mush a toe. And so, and it's happened my entire life. So I don't even remember what happened or when it did, but I had a dead toe. And I guess yesterday or the day before, I'm in the shower and I'm like, I'm just taking this toenail off. And so I just ripped it off. And I don't know if you know anything about toenails, but when they're ready to go, they're ready to go. But it's
that's what
like my tooth.
That's what my PhD is in, toenails.
Yeah. So I had to like really rip it at the end.
And
this will give you a little insight into my marriage. I take it out and it's full. It's the entire toenail. It's not in pieces. And I go ahead to Bridget and I said, "Hey, hon, I want to show you something." And I set this bloody toenail on her keyboard. And she's like, "What are you doing?
What's wrong with you?"
I said, "I don't know. I don't have any use for it anymore. I thought maybe you would." She's like, "That's so disgusting. Get that off my keyboard." I said, "No, I'm done with it now. It now belongs to you.
It's a gift."
Yeah.
Happy quarantine anniversary.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a toenail.
Yeah,
this is slowly becoming a podcast about one man's journey to just absolutely fucking fall apart. Last week it was Slim Jims for breakfast, and now it's pieces of you are falling off. I wonder if they're connected.
She threw it away.
Well, yes.
And I actually wanted to go find it.
Why? So you could
I'm
preserve it in formaldehyde?
Yeah, exactly.
Show your grandchildren?
Yeah.
Back in 2021.
So anyway,
this toenail off.
It's a constant something. Somebody's bleeding. Abby accidentally she was practicing her karate. And Brooke was holding a pillow. And so she did a spin kick and cracked her in the nose. So she bled all over the place. This place looks like a crime scene. I'm not kidding you. If they were to come in here, they'd be like, "How are you guys all alive? There's literally blood on every surface. And you have somebody that comes and cleans."
Oh my God. Well, blood is very hard to get out.
Yeah.
I love the idea of your daughters practicing karate and one of them just using a pillow as if like, "Oh, there you go. That's going to be totally fine for this 5-year-old. She'll totally be able to accurately hit the pillow and not kick me in the face."
And the 9-year-old thinking, Yeah, I'm just going to sweep it out of your hand.
Yeah. Here you go.
Your nose with it.
I mean, she's demonstrated the point that she's got a very strong kick.
Yeah.
You don't need to worry about her. She can draw blood. She's a warrior now. It's time to enter her into a kumite.
Did you remember it was daylight savings time?
Yes.
I totally forgot.
Here's the thing about that, though. You can forget that it's daylight savings now anyway, and then, or daylight savings, and then it doesn't make any difference at all whatsoever.
Right.
It doesn't mean anything, right? Like, you don't have anywhere to be the next day. You're not like, oh shit, I'm an hour late for something, because you're just in your house.
Right. And this is the bad one, right? It went back or went forward.
Spring forward. Yeah. It jumped from whatever 2 a.m. to 3 a.m. like that.
So now my naps are at what time? You just got to remind me.
1 to 1:30. I don't know. What time do you normally nap at?
I don't nap. Are you kidding? Well, maybe I do. What's going on with you?
Not, same old shit. I had to go to the office to go pick up all the crap that was at my desk.
Oh, good. Yeah.
That was depressing.
Yeah, no, that's fun.
Yeah. It's just like 18 years of, and most of it was garbage. The real benefit of being
Everybody
away
not looking at you
for a year. Well, there was almost nobody there except for Dan, who we both know, who was doing like audio for something. He
walked you through. He's like, I'm also doing security.
Yeah. He's like, I'm sorry, I gotta do this. I just gotta make sure you don't steal anything that doesn't belong to you. I opened up my desk drawer and I was like, why was I keeping all this crap? Why would I, like, a lot of it's just like napkins. Why did I have so many napkins in my desk?
You need napkins. Look at me.
I didn't want to
walk. Every time I laugh, I have to blow my nose.
I didn't want to walk to for you.
We should call this blow my nose.
Blow my something.
What?
Hello. So that was depressing. Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Oh God. I mean, look, the security guard who was with me while I was doing it was like, he was bummed out. He was like, yeah, man, I
don't want to be here.
He's like, this is what I'm doing. He's like, this used to be a building with 1,000 people in it. Now it's like 100 people coming in and out of here every day. And a lot of what I do is escort people to their desk to get their stuff. And it's a bummer.
Well, I think a lot of the people listening, I mean, and by the way, I wanted to make sure that I mentioned all the people that are supporting us and are on our Patreon and everything. We really appreciate it. It's a quick list here. It's Antoine and Ben. And they actually are just
and sometimes Bridget, except she's over. I think I sent the last one to my wife and my sister, and I don't think either of them listened to it. They were like,
really?
They're like, we get it. It's
You're on TV. But this is different.
We get enough of you in our daily lives where we're good.
We're talking about peeing and things. Like oh, come on. No, Bridget loves them. She really does. Today I'm extra orange.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I want it to be more orange.
Mm-hmm. You have to go the makeup route then. Yeah, exactly. You're gonna have to go the makeup route if you want to be extra orange.
Hey man, for 33, I look pretty good.
You do. What was the phrase you used last week? Ridden hard and put away wet.
That is about a saddle, not a person.
And now you.
Yeah,
now
exactly.
Probably both of us, to be totally honest. As I said, I think last week, now I'm really starting to feel the effects. Now, even if I get a full 7 hours of sleep, I wake up and I'm like, oh, no.
Yeah, my feet hurt.
I don't want this.
When did your feet start to hurt? I don't understand why my feet hurt.
The other semi-kid development has been that Ava won't do she does this thing where she'll like ask for me to do voices, and I'm not good at voices, but she doesn't care. To her, it's like, to her, it's like another person. So she's like, "Hi, Big Bird," and I have to like pull out a budget Big Bird impression to get her to do anything, to go sit on the toilet, to eat her food, to clean up her toys, anything. Let's see, what's my Big Bird? Hi. Hey, Peter.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you like to clean up? I bet you would.
That's horrible.
It's horrible.
Does she like Jeff Bridges? Because I can do Jeff Bridges.
But she loves
it. It's not all about Nom, man.
And she talks to me as if I'm not me. She talks to me as if I'm Big Bird. I'm like, hey, how's it going today? She's like, good. Daddy and I went outside today. And I'm like,
this might not be healthy.
I'm like, yeah, I know. Who do you think you're really talking to here? So I don't know where to go with that, but it gets the job done. If Big Bird asks her to clean up her toys or to go to the bathroom, she does it. But if Dad asks her to do it, no, I'm not.
There's a lot of psychology going on over there.
Yeah. And I don't understand any of it. So now it's like, I'm relying on the Big Bird voice to get whatever I need done in the moment. I want her to go wash her hands. I'm like, time to go wash your hands.
Yeah.
What it sounds like? It sounds awful.
They believe in leprechauns, and it's, St. Patrick's Day in and around when we're recording this. And she said, I don't want to sleep in my room because the leprechaun's going to come in there. I said, honey, no leprechauns coming in here. They said they stay outside. She's like, well, what if he comes to the dog door? I was like, well, that's a good point.
It is small. They are small.
So
yeah.
She was allowed to sleep in the living room with our door open to make sure that no leprechauns get her.
Yeah. Like give her a butcher's knife. Like if he comes in here, you get him before he comes into mommy and daddy's room.
And again, I don't want to bleed for one day.
Maybe the problem is that you're not bleeding quite enough.
Yeah.
To prompt a reaction. Did you guys do anything for St. Patrick's Day aside from go out and go to all the bars and restaurants? Now
that's what we do.
Yeah,
we painted our car green. And we went out and got hammered and then drove around. We didn't do shit. I didn't know it was daylight savings time. I almost forgot it was St. Patrick's Day. It was my brother's birthday.
Did you tell him at least happy birthday? Did you?
Of course. But we're guys. So in our family, we kind of shut our phones off during your birthday, just because you're going to just get inundated. And so we just don't take any phone calls, and we thank everybody the next day.
Oh.
And don't send me anything.
Yeah.
Please. I've got it. I don't need the toothbrush or the toothpick. Or well, maybe I need the toothpick, but
you're not going to tell me that some teeth are falling out, are you?
I got some teeth stuff.
Oh no. It does sound like you could use some Band-Aids, to be perfectly honest.
Well, yes, I have 2 on me currently.
Are they?
So I'm not going swimming.
No.
It's Sebastian Maniscalco. He's like, I jump into the pool. There's a bear floating by me in the pool.
Public pools, man. Ugh. I made my first corned beef yesterday. I'm half Irish. I haven't. I mean, I'm sure I have. I'm sure, like, working on St. Patrick's Day, I probably the only corned beef I've had in like 15 years has been from the NBC Universal commissary. I made my own yesterday, and I don't have any horror stories. It actually turned out pretty well. And I get on the phone with my mom. I was like, no. I was like, I'm proud. I like this. I'm like, I'm doing it. I'm putting it in a Dutch oven. I'm braising it. I got Guinness. I did the whole thing. And it turned out pretty well. And my mom was like, yeah, it's kind of hard to screw up. I was like, thanks, Mom.
Yeah, that's not. I mean,
Thanks.
you could just say,
I know.
Great job, son.
A 40-year-old man making a meal, and I just wanted to be proud of myself, but apparently this is a
Can you make toast?
this is a skill I probably should have learned a decade ago.
Yeah. Look at you, you big boy. You're killing it. You're just getting all the big boy stuff done. We're so proud of you with your big boy stuff and your big boy pants. Do you own a car? Fantastic. Good for you.
I know, it is fucking pathetic, right? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
but yeah, look, that's my generation, right? I want a big round of applause for doing something very simple, for feeding my family.
I think that's everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, really, if you actually look back at it's funny because Bridget will have this conversation. She'll walk through and say, well, I did this and I did that. And I'm like, well, okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
I was out in the rain cleaning out the gutters and I wasn't going to mention that. And then I cut myself on a nail and I had to go get a tetanus shot. And then my toenail fell off, but I'll share that with you because it's funny. We don't have to, it's all working. We don't all have to get a trophy every time something happens.
I don't know. I'm going to disagree with you on that. Now I feel like I absolutely need one, even though I don't have anything else to do. It's not like I'm sandwiching in a bunch of other shit. Now it's just like anytime I do anything, even remotely outside the norm, it's like, well, I deserve adulation and some sort of a reward for this because
she's looking at you like, do you have any idea what it's like to carry a child?
That is actually her verbatim response. She's like, oh, that's hilarious. I'm carrying your baby. You know that, right? You know that.
You realize that this is a complete job.
Yes. So
every moment of the day. So you got the trash cans. Great.
You took the recycling out on the day that it was supposed to go out. Good
for
job.
You.
Yes. I know. I would like to think
we
that,
have to keep reminding ourselves of that, by the way.
Oh, totally. Oh, 100%. And I was gonna say, because I would like to think that, adversity, what we've always been told about adversity is that it makes you stronger, right? Like it makes you tougher, it makes you harder. But in reality, I think what I found over the last year, the adversity has made me incredibly soft. So that really is just like,
we're not used to not having something to do.
If I'm doing anything,
this is why we have something to do.
If I'm doing anything other than just like lying face down in my own sorrow, I feel like I deserve something. I don't know what it is.
I need an accolade.
A cookie?
Can you give me an accolade? Anybody? Girls, do you know how to spell accolade?
A certificate? A gold star? Yeah. Nothing.
I got so many accolades.
It all just feels like such a massive lift now. We're like, I gotta wash all these dishes.
And you let them hear it.
It's done in, it's like done in like 3 minutes. It's over. It's over with, right? But
every time you walk through the house, it's all right.
Yeah.
I guess I'll take care of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna take care of it.
Yes, you're gonna take care of it.
That's your job.
Yes, that's what you're fucking doing. Yeah.
Fine.
So that's where I'm at.
Fine.
When I was driving to our old office, I needed air. The tire pressure monitor went off in my car. And the responsible thing to do would be like, oh, let's go to the gas station. I'll go put some air in my tires real quick. But part of me was like, I wonder how flat they can get and I can still drive it. How long can I possibly put this off?
Have you watched Car Chases?
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Two of them are usually gone and they're still 100 miles. I mean,
this is a leased car that I have to return at some point.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to drive it on its rims, but that was it. Was
unless you've done something very wrong. Well,
I guess that's true. It depends. Check in with me next week and we'll see how it goes. But that was
I've
where
seen you do things wrong.
Yes, you are. Yes, you have. But that's where I'm at now. Was like I don't even want to deal with getting out of my car and putting air in my tires now. Well, let's just see if the tire pressure goes to 0, and then I don't know, I'll deal with it somehow.
Can we tell that story about what you did wrong?
I mean, which one? The one where I rear-ended somebody? Yeah.
We're on the way to a shoot that Will is producing, and or you're on air for. I can't remember.
I think I was producing. I think Jason was on air for it.
And we decided that we were going to take a left turn, and he decided he was going to go straight. And as we were taking the left turn, I'm driving and one of our production vans, and I see in the rearview mirror, Will's just flicking us off. And then
I was next to you. I was looking at you as I was leaning out the window, giving you the finger.
Yeah.
Staring at you.
And then he slams into the car.
I drove straight into the car in front of me.
Who happened to be another employee of the company we work for.
Yes. And she was very cool about it. She was very cool.
Well, she had to do your makeup the next day.
She was very cool about it. And she didn't call the insurance companies. I just wrote her. She gave me a fair price on fixing her bumper, and I wrote her a check for it. But yeah, that was, talk about a mortifying fucking experience.
Might have been the funniest thing I've ever seen. Oh, that's an employee.
And the difference between me now and me then, if that happened in this literal moment, I would be like, I'm just going to spend the rest of the day in this car on the side of the road like this. Then I got my car to a body shop, got a rental car, and still made it there by the start of the premiere.
That's right.
I was like, got to get shit done. All right. I can't let this stop me. And my car was still drivable, kind of.
Was that the premiere where the truck caught fire?
No, that was that might have been Inglorious Bastards on Hollywood Boulevard, that the truck caught fire in front of our position.
Yeah, so on Hollywood Boulevard they shut it off in front of the Chinese Man's Theater, and for the red carpet and the media and everything. And sorry, I was distracted. And one day, because people will drive by and they'll honk and they'll yell, and they're trying to see the celebrities that are in the movie.
Yeah.
And one guy had stopped, and then his car just caught fire,
burst into flames.
And
burst into flames.
Will jumped the fence. I've got a 40-pound camera on my shoulder. Will jumps the fence and is throwing bottles of water on it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was like,
get out of there.
The water.
You know the guy's insurance on this?
I was like, your car's on fire, man. Again, I sprung into action. Now I would be like, well, I'm just gonna let that guy's car burn.
Yeah.
But at the time too, is also I think a part of it was also if this guy's car bursts into flame, not only are we're going to be in a little bit of trouble. I don't think it would have burst, exploded or anything like that. This could be a moderate problem.
I mean, if you see the movies, they fall off the cliff.
That's true. Boom. But B, I was also like, if this guy's car catches on fire and they've got to reroute this premiere and Brad Pitt can't fucking get here, I'm going to be here all night.
Yeah, exactly. That's true.
I want to go home.
Right. Exactly.
I don't want to spend 7 hours here. Get this car out. Get this fire out. Just get this car on its way. Break down, catch on fire somewhere else, man.
By the way, I got the vaccine, and so I apologize. I don't know if this is side effects from it or whatever, but I'm enjoying and leaking more than usual.
It's like that's your mutation from getting the vaccine. It's taken the thing that you already did and amplified it, which is leaking.
I mean, well, this is for my daughter, but it's just a list of things that can go wrong. It's,
Well, from what? I couldn't read it.
Well, no, I was just holding that up as a gag, but I mean, there's so many things that can go wrong. Because other people that got it, they couldn't like lift their arm, but mine's fine. I can lift it, but a little tired.
Mm-hmm. No, no side effects.
I think this will be our best episode.
Yeah.
Of it. And I'm bleeding all over cards. I don't know.
It's great. It's great. We started with a story that I thought maybe I might throw up during.
My toenail fell off.
But I didn't.
Wife. I think it's fine.
It's going great.
I don't think there's anything wrong with the vaccine.
Yeah, no, it's if a toe falls off, then maybe you can attribute that to the vaccine. They're like, oh yeah, that's our 0.00001% reaction is your toes falling off.
Yeah, but I need to
at least then you know
myself why. With that one.
Wood block.
Like, use a size 14.
Use a wood block.
You can lose them all and you're still a size 11.
Doctor's like, you know what they say about people with big feet? Lots of feet accidents.
Yeah,
because they're
that doesn't
abnormally large.
Yeah, big socks is really what it means.
Yeah, you're gonna jam those suckers on a lot of things.
Yeah, they don't sell 14 socks, by the way. They go to 13. They don't sell. Finding 14 shoes is a nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
I have 14 Uggs on now, but look at these things. That's a size 14 Ugg.
That's the size of your head.
Longer than my head.
I wasn't sure if it was so what do you do for socks? Just buy 2 large socks, cut them together and sew them back together?
No, you smush your feet in them and you lose toenails.
That could be a business. You could be on Shark Tank and get socks that are
they make
size
them
14 to 18.
Yeah, but they make them, but the people that they make so few that the people that have that size of a foot.
Yeah. It's all Shaq.
Gone. Yeah.
Shaq buys all of them.
All of them. He's like a 22 or 23.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So somebody else in the NBA has got all of your socks. And you have no socks.
This wasn't in any of my notes.
You poor sockless bastard. What's on your notes? What else is on your notes?
Oh, I burned all my bills in the fire.
What?
So we had this big bucket of bills and we got a shredder. But because it had gathered for so long, I just put it in the fireplace and burned them all. But before I used to put them in the backyard and burn them in the wheelbarrow. But you can't do that. I mean, you can do it if it's raining, but then you can't get fire started. And we live in such a fire-prone area. If this is illegal, then this is all a joke.
I'm just kidding.
But this is a little inside baseball, but my brother-in-law is a firefighter in a city, and he said if anything were to happen, it's an approved salamander. That's the code.
An approved salamander?
That's so if they were to show up and something were to happen, and you'd be like, oh no, it's an approved salamander. Is the code for burning shit in your yard. And fortunately, only 2 people listen to this. So
it's just you and me. Well,
yeah.
Sucks for the people who started at the beginning and then didn't make it this far. Now, so then what happens? You don't get in trouble?
It's an approved salamander.
And then they just go away.
Approved. Well, I mean, I have a fire extinguisher next to it, and I'm
you have a
jacket, a bucket of water, and I do it properly. But
put on the helmet.
Yeah. No, these ones I did in the living room.
So wait, you shred your bills and then burn them?
No. It was such a volume that I put them in the fireplace.
Oh, you just weren't even going to bother with shredding them.
Yeah, so it was like wood and bills.
and like AT&T bills.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I can't have anybody know anything about my AT&T bills. Will?
People are going through your garbage, man.
I'm serious.
I'm sure you are. I
saw
a guy.
Don't touch this Kleenex and don't touch those AT&T bills.
Bro, there's nothing I want less than to touch your Kleenex.
Yeah. But the AT&T bills has the same on it that the Kleenex does.
The AT&T bills, that's where I can get your DNA. There was a guy, in LA, there are people who will drive around and go through recycling to collect cans and bottles and whatever so that they can get the deposit on them. And last week I was looking out my window and a guy pulls up to my trash can, pops open the bag, and then dumps my recycling bag out in my trash can, pulls out like one bottle, takes the garbage bag, and then drives away with it. And I was irate.
Why?
Because he dumped all of my recycling.
Yeah, but what do you think was
into my trash process? I wonder if there's a bottle in here, and I'll also take this bag, but didn't want to sift through it in the bag in the recycling bin, which was probably pretty full from like whatever boxes, whatever the fuck is in there.
I'd have a confrontation with that person.
I almost did. I was almost like, I'm going to run out. Okay. I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't the crazy person in this. Well, not that he's crazy, but I wasn't the like unjustifiably irate one for him taking all my recyclables and dumping them into my trash.
Well, if you drove up to somebody's house and you opened up their trash can and you dumped all their shit on the street.
Yeah.
What do you expect is going to happen?
I mean, I guess, look,
is somebody going to come out of the house? Probably.
I almost did. I was so mad. And I know there are better people than me who like sort all that stuff and put it in a separate bag so that it's easy for people to find. But this guy just, I have no problem with people doing it or going through and pulling out my, the bottle or what cans or whatever the fuck it is. But the fact that he dumped like all the plastic shit that is recyclable into my trash.
He can get the 78 cans of White Claw that I drank in 1 week.
Yeah.
You're like, hey,
you can have it, but just put the recycling back in the recycling bin.
I'm not drinking them. I'm just pouring them out and giving them to him. I'm
not fucking with that.
Yeah, everything's responsible here.
So then we went on a walk in the neighborhood and I saw his car and was going to say something, but he pulled away. And I was with my 2-year-old. I don't know. Well, I don't know what I was thinking, but I was just like enraged and in a different state of mind where I was like, this guy needs to be taught a lesson. But
I've had that happen where, because there's a guy down the street that he's a contractor. And so the guys that work for his contracting company will come and park in front of his house. And when they're leaving, they don't care. They don't live here. And so they'll just book it down the street.
Mm-hmm.
And I bought a "Drive Like Your Kids Live Here" sign and I put it in front of his house.
Uh-huh.
And one day I'm with my kids and we're walking down the street and 2 of his guys take off and he's there. And I said, this is going to come off because you don't have any idea who I am. I live right there. So if you ever want to talk about it again, this is where I am. But if those fuckers keep flying down the street, there's going to be a problem. I said, I'm the person a year ago that put "Drive Like Your Kids Live Here" sign in front of your house.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, hey man, why are you so upset? I said, because it's been years. I said, I've lived here for 16 years and your guys are booking it through and every house here has kids and they're usually in the street. And he said, all right, I mean, whatever. I was like, whatever. That's where I live. Tell them to stop.
Did it stop?
It stopped.
Oh, good.
Well, because I'm not small.
That's true. You have size. He saw your shoe size and was like, listen, oh shit.
I'm 5'2", 133 pounds. Nobody messes with that.
And 30 pounds of that is your feet.
Yeah, exactly.
You look like Krusty the Clown. He's going, and people are afraid of that guy.
And I've gained 20 pounds. So I'm a clean 100 non-pandemic.
Yeah, exactly. I know neighborhood politics are it's so bizarre. It's such a bizarre thing. Like there's
the ones that are right next to you, you really need to make sure that you have some sort of working relationship with.
Oh, totally.
And even that gets quirky at times. As I think we talked about. But I think when you get like a block away, gloves are off. You're like, yes. Hey man, I don't have to see you every day. Slow down.
Yeah. It can be really, there's a woman who lives 2 doors down from me who's got these little dogs. I think they're Chihuahuas. I don't know. I never know what kind of dog any dog is. I think they're Chihuahuas. Let's say they're Chihuahuas. And
sounds good.
They escape from her yard like once a day. And because McKenna sits in the front of our house working all day, for the last like month, she's been like, hey, that lady's
whiz by.
Yeah, that lady's dog is out again. You got to go get him. And I'm like, why do I have to go? All right, like, fine.
Do you have something to do? You're like, yeah
you don't have shit to do.
It's called something to do.
You don't have anything to do. Get out there and go get the dog. So I go get the dog and bring her back. And, I don't want to touch the dog. So I'm just like shepherding it back. And I get it back into this lady's front yard. And she's like, oh yeah, I got to do something about this. It's just like, there's like a giant gap in her fence. I'm like, it's probably this right here. She's like, okay, I got something. I'm going to fix it. Does a terrible job of it. The next day, the dog hops right through the gap in the like makeshift fence that she had. It's like it's the size of my head.
In love with you. I think he loves you and he wants to see you, and he's coming over to say hi.
Well, now we have a relationship. We're best friends.
Yeah. At some point, you're going to be like, you know what? Just live here.
Listen, Lulu's my dog now. I don't know what to tell you. She likes
Lulu.
I don't want to fucking have any idea.
That's a good makeup.
I'll be honest. Anytime anybody tells me the name of their dog, it goes in one ear and out the other, except for Skeeter. I need to know the name. I need to know the person and their dog for an extensive period of time before it registers with me. Otherwise, that's
how I feel about wives.
Prove to me that you're going to be around for a while.
Yeah.
And then I'll learn your name. Yeah. It's just not a thing. Like I just am terrible with names. And then if it's a name that doesn't make any sense to me, it's like, I'm not going to remember this.
No.
Yeah.
Well, Skeeter died. So thanks for that.
Sorry. I'm sorry about that.
That'll be actual real tears. Let me get, what were you supposed to do? We'll be present. Skeeter died.
It wasn't this week, was it?
No. But we've got Bitsy.
Well, I won't remember that by next week.
I'm going to ask it.
And I'm going to be like, I don't know, Captain?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't fucking have any idea. So yeah. And then I went over and like fixed her fence so that the dog wouldn't get out. I don't know where she is. I'm wearing a mask and I'm fixing her fence because I was like, I don't want to be responsible. And because my wife can see the dog escape every day, I somehow feel responsible for the welfare of this dog. One day it got out there.
Well, Lulu's out.
Yes, that's exactly what happens. And I was like, that's it. That's the last time I get that dog. And my wife, you would have thought that I was like, if I see that dog again, I'm throwing it in the street.
You know how to walk a dog?
The way that she looked at me was like, I don't care about animals at all. And it was like, I was the bad guy for being like, I don't fucking let somebody else get it. I've got it every day for the last 2 weeks. And my wife was
every
like,
day?
Just about.
Does it have a collar?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Let it be somebody else's problem.
I'm going to clip this out and I'm going to make my wife listen to that part of it.
Yeah. She won't listen to anything else.
No, that's it. She doesn't give a shit.
Nobody ever makes it to the end of these things. We can literally say whatever we want. I just said walk a dog.
So, okay, thank you. That's what I needed to hear.
It's true.
I mean, if
it has a caller, somebody else is going to call her.
Yeah. Yes.
Or not. I mean, what are you going to do?
I don't know.
She
but
clearly doesn't care about this animal.
She does. She loves the dog. I know she loves the dog. But I'm thinking about like cause and effect with my daughter.
Maybe
and
she likes you.
Setting boundaries. No, I don't think so. But
I think so.
She's never even fully seen my face. Hat and a mask. All she's seen is this. I'm like a ninja when I walk around.
Good enough for me.
Like a normcore ninja. That's what I look like.
During the pandemic, that's all you need.
Sweatpants, this shirt.
Yeah. You've got no crow's feet. She's on board, man.
So because I'm thinking about like boundaries with my daughter and being like, look, this is what I say. And this is what, even though she's 2, it's like, we're starting to work on that stuff. You can't do X and Y. Like you have to learn that this is the way the world works. And so when I think about it with like this adult lady down the street whose dog keeps getting out every day, it's like, well, she's not feeling any effect or any panic because before she even knows the dog is gone, I've gotten the dog and walked it back. So maybe I need to let the dog disappear for a day or two so that she learns, hey, maybe I should lock my fucking yard down.
Yes. You're saying to lock the dog in a trash can. I get it.
Yeah.
Now, if that's what you want to do,
is that what put the dog in my recycling bin for just a day? One day.
You went into the Rorschach test of my brain. And so what I'm thinking that you're saying is you're going to put the thing in a trash can for a couple days.
Kidnap the dog. Is having to kidnap the dog. And then
you're going to feed it carrots.
Yes. And corned beef. And that's and then your toenail. And that's
what invariably was probably horrible corned beef.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was.
I'm just kidding. I'm sure it was fantastic.
Fuck you, Peter. Exactly. How dare you fucking judge my corned beef?
Oh.
So that is in the summation. That is the dog, the recycling bin, and my daughter. Those have been the big picture things that have been happening this week at my house. So it's all really exciting shit, I am starting to get like a little.
You're not bleeding all over everything?
No. I'm starting to get, as you said, you got vaccinated. I've got other friends who have done the same thing. A friend of theirs has called them, a friend of theirs who's volunteered at one of the sites has called them like 8:00 at night. Have been like, we're going to dump.
They're going to throw them away.
We're going to dump these out, get down here and we'll take care of it. And so people that I know have started to get vaccinated, which is incredible. I don't know, it's like a sort of socioeconomic level, like what what that looks like. And,
well, no, where we got it was an empty pharmacy and it was just people that didn't show up.
Yeah. And so that's
literally nobody. It wasn't like there was a line of
people.
It was just nobody there.
So we're starting to see people get vaccinated quite a bit.
And the CDC said, get it.
Just go. Yeah. That's what I've been hearing from a lot of like news outlets too. It's like, look, the delivery system is not perfect. If you get an opportunity, you got to go. Yeah. But it's starting to make me, I'm starting to question like what life after this looks like. Well, like in the next, like, what does the summer look like? Like, do things start to open up again? Am I going to have to wear real pants? Am I going to have to make like 4th of July plans? Things like that.
No, we don't have to see anybody anymore.
That's true.
You get a podcast and you talk to your friend and we get it all out.
And that's it. And this is the extent of my social interaction.
This is it.
Yeah.
I wanted to show you a picture of my vitamins. That's more than 16, right?
It's like guessing jelly beans in a jar. Sure. It's more than 16.
No, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm totally changing the subject. I just didn't want to forget to show you the picture of my vitamins. I don't know that that's, I mean,
15,
I don't feel bad.
14? You don't think that they're doing anything?
Well, I still have to blow my nose during a podcast. How much fun is that? There are people that are probably throwing up.
I mean, look, if they didn't from the first 4 minutes, I think they're good at this point, but
you want to see my toe?
No, I don't want to see it.
It's on the mend.
I don't want to see it. Oh God.
The lighting on this one's kind of pissing me off. I don't know about this lighting in here. Let's see.
Look, well, we white balanced at the beginning before we actually started. So don't fuck with it, because then it's gonna get it's gonna white balance for the beginning, and then it's gonna change it all.
It doesn't matter.
Like, you did this for a living, man.
Nobody. I don't know that you understand. Nobody is watching any of this.
Now I understand, but I'm just talking to you as if nobody else is listening, because they're not. But if we would be like shooting something and you would have the eyepiece up to your camera and like somebody bumped a light, you would go like this, because something would change. And you are doing a thing that we wipe out. You did that. You like set it up, and then midway through, you're the one who's like turning the lights on and off to be like, is this any different?
I went back.
Just keep it the same.
Here's what we've learned, by the way. Having spent decades, and I've spent more than my 10,000 hours shooting television and things like that. Nobody gives a fuck.
That's true.
They just don't. What matters is what you and I talk about. And if it's relatable, that's it. Nobody cares.
So there's a whole crowd of listeners who are like, I know what it's like to yank a toenail off in the shower, or I know what it's like to want to chase a guy down the street because he dug through your recycling and dumped it out all over the place.
They do. I mean, life is life, man. That's what's going on. Those are the things that are happening. And actually, it's a lot more difficult than that. You know, we're talking about things that are not that difficult.
Yeah. Oh, no. I'm fully aware. Champagne problems, as it were.
Oh, I have champagne.
Or, the champagne of beers problems, at least.
Oh, I have champagne of beers.
Oh, nice. The other thing that
I mentioned the name, but we're not being sponsored by them yet.
The other thing that I realized when I went to go clean out my desk, I had a lot of alcohol in my desk. I didn't really drink it that frequently, but
I like that about you.
I had a lot of it, like a fair amount. Like I could have a small party with what I had in my desk. 2 bottles of vodka and 2 bottles of bourbon, and then like other like little gift bottles of bourbon and champagne that people had given me.
Well, what's funny is we often mentioned that most of the shoots that we did were alcohol based.
A few. Yeah.
Often.
Yeah.
Almost every single one. Where you're trying alcohol. Which one do we do at the bar with what's her
with Trisha Yearwood?
Yeah, Trisha Yearwood.
Was that like whiskey tasting or something like that?
Yeah.
But
whatever it was, and you're like, I have more things to do today. I can't drink 4 glasses of whiskey.
Oh, the going to like a that one I did. Yeah. Oh God.
But it was fine. I mean, you were responsible about it. I'm just saying.
Yes.
But that kind of stuff happened a lot.
There were others that I was probably like less responsible during, where I was like, I got to get where I'm going, because in like 25 minutes, I'm going to be fucking wasted.
Yeah.
And that in fact did happen.
And I'm going to be on air.
Yeah. There was one where it was a, you do those like Golden Globe or Oscar or whatever, like the that we would call the menu preview shoots, where you would sample cocktails, sample food,
sampling champagne,
and so you'd go
signature cocktail.
The signature cocktail. So before you go to the office, or before you go to the shoot, everybody at the office is like, You got to find a way to make it interesting. You got to find a way to make it fun or funny. And so mine was always like, well, I'm just going to chug the drinks. Like, I'm going to chug the drinks.
That'll be funny.
Shove everybody's like, their artisan made chocolate in my own, and treat it like it's fucking Hershey's Kisses. I'm going to just shove it in my mouth and just generally be a clown on purpose. And one of them I did, it was like at the Beverly Hilton at like 7:30 in the morning, and I had to be back on air at 8:30 or no, 11. I think it was 11 back in the office. I drank so much, two drinks, wine or whatever the fuck, didn't eat anything. And I was driving back to the office over the hill, and I was like going through this like super windy canyon, and I was like, I am getting motion sick. Like, I am getting so sick. I don't feel drunk, but I feel like I'm going to throw up. Got back to the office, did the show.
Because you're also, I mean, if you have anything there, it's
like tilapia.
You're eating caviar and then, cake, and then you have a piece of lobster.
Oh,
and then you're having salmon, and then it's like, oh my God.
Oh, it's awful. Oh my God. There was one year I took a whole
sip of champagne,
a whole chunk of salmon in the basement of the Beverly Hills, which was like, I ate it like an apple. Poor guy that made it was just like, what are you doing? What are you doing, man? And so I'm
selling your product, dude.
I did the show white as a ghost, because I was like barely holding on. Finish it, go to our old boss. I was like, I gotta go. Like, I am KO'd for the rest of the day. Like, I am not okay. And literally like made it back to my house, walked in the front door, and just like went right to the bathroom and threw up.
Yeah, because it's too much.
Oh God.
It's gluttonous.
I started thinking like there were a number of shoots where I would throw up at the end.
Well, yeah, the when you did the
I did the 0G.
The 0G.
Yeah.
So they fly you straight up, and then they fly you straight down.
And so you can experience no gravity, right? And I made it through. So you do this for an hour.
I tried the hardest I could to get on that flight.
They drop you once where it's like they replicate what the gravity is like on the moon, and then again what it's like on, I think it was Mars, and then they do it again so that it's zero, so there's no gravity whatsoever. And they do it 12 times. They call this plane the vomit comet. Like, this is what they train astronauts on, and they do all kinds of scientific experiments to see how things react in zero gravity. And when they do it with like astronauts, they do it like 20 times in a row, and with us they do it like 12 times in a row. And by like time 8, I was like,
get me off this thing,
going to fucking throw up. There's no way I'm not going to throw up. And I didn't. And it's like, it's on camera. Instead of like doing flips and shit, I was just like laying as perfectly still as I could and keeping my eyes closed, and then just floating in air and being like, oh God.
Are we accomplishing anything here?
Get off.
I work for entertainment news.
We land, and that's it. Everybody on the trip was like a blogger or something. And we land, and I'm like, okay, I'm safe. I get out, I get fresh air. I'm like, all right, I think I'm feeling okay now. They get us into a van to transport us back to where our cars were at this hotel. The second I get in the van, I was like, whoom, world closes in on me. And I am just like going through my jumpsuit for a sick bag, and I'm vomiting into it. And I look up, and one of our other camera guys, Jerry's got a GoPro on my face. He's like, hey man, how you feeling? I was like, fuck you, Jerry.
See, that's what makes it good.
And then I threw up the entire drive home.
Oh,
for like an hour and 15 minutes. I'm sitting on the 5, and I've got a garbage bag in my car because I brought it as like a prop to be like, is this a sick bag? Look at the size of this thing. And then it turns out that it really was. And I was really throwing up into like a fucking Glad garbage bag in my car on the side of like the 5.
Oh, good Lord.
And then we did another one where I went to, were you on this one? Cirque du Soleil?
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, because we got tickets.
So yeah, so it was like Cirque du Soleil training, right? So I'm doing, whatever, climbing up.
We bought tickets
up the pole. They do another thing where they like, so the thing that really got me was they strap your hands into these like canvas I don't know, harnesses basically. And another guy pulls the harnesses up on a pulley and it lifts you up into the air. And then you can spin and do all sorts of, if you're trained, awesome aerial tricks. I mean, it takes an incredible amount of strength to do it, but just the spinning within like 3.5 seconds on the chute. This is the first thing that I've done. I was like, I'm going to be sick. I just cannot. My heart is willing. My heart is so willing. My spirit is willing. My stomach, on the other hand, cannot hang for shit anymore. So I'm spinning in a circle. I was just like, I'm going to throw up.
Is that where all that stuff manifests itself, is in your stomach? Because mine's my stomach. Like if I don't get like, well, here's this week's shirt.
Oh, it's a wave.
Yeah.
Nice.
Which is vomit. That's what made me think of it. But but everything manifests itself in my stomach.
Yeah.
Like when I get a hangover, I don't get headaches. I get a stomachache.
Oh, now I kind of, my hangovers now, it's kind of like both.
All over.
Yeah, it's everywhere. But something like this, for example, where I'm just like motion sick, it originates in my stomach, and then like a little bit of like dizziness or lightheadedness. So finish the shoot. Unfortunately, that was like near Dodger Stadium, which is very close to my house. Drove home, threw up, lay down on the couch for the rest of the day. And like, and now I don't have a fucking job.
I did all this for you people.
You're welcome. But now I feel sick if I'm like, I took my daughter to the park and I get on the swings and I'm like, and now I feel like motion sick on a fucking swing.
Well, what is that? Equilibrium.
Oh, I hadn't really thought about that.
Yeah. I mean, that might be inner ear stuff.
Huh. Interesting.
It's listening to my dumb voice once a week for an hour.
It's why I finish this and then throw up immediately and have to lay down for the rest of the day.
Can you imagine? Talk about really committing.
Yeah, I just can't. Or if we're like, we bought one of those little plastic balance beam, like the little sections click together for my kid, and it makes a circle, makes an oval. And if I go around that too fast, I'm like, I'm going to throw up. I'm going to get dizzy and I'm going to get sick.
You and I are the same, because if I cough too hard, unfortunately, I gave it to my daughter. Oh. So apparently it's genetic, because if she coughs too hard, she boots.
Yeah. Ooh. So I'm not at that point yet.
So I just duct tape her.
Oh yeah. Well, that's a good plan.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I was a little kid, I would get motion sick super easy, like back of the car reading or something like that. I would get.
That's a joke, sick. By the way, for CPS.
For child services.
CPS took my babies.
And then like teens and 20s, it went away. Like I could go to like an amusement park and do whatever and never feel anything.
Yeah, I don't have any problem on roller coasters.
And now I spent like, I took my mom and my sister 4 years ago. Yeah, 4 or 5 years ago to Universal. And after like a half day there, I was like, I'm going to get sick. I'm going to get sick on fucking Harry Potter or whatever the fuck, the Simpsons ride. I was like,
well, we've bled all over everything. I've blown my nose.
If we were to title this episode, it would be, it's something to do with Pete and Will, blood and vomit.
Yeah, I was going to say the exact
This is a disgusting one.
Yeah. I've got to work on my lighting. If I was by myself, lighting, great.
Well, I tweaked mine this morning or this afternoon.
Yeah, so did I.
Just going straight daylight, baby. Straight daylight.
Yeah, I'm tungsten.
Interesting.
And for those of you who care about light, daylight is 5600, and tungsten, well, this is probably 27. Well, nobody listens to this part.
No, this is the end. All right, we'll cut this part out.
Great talking to you, brother.
All right, brother. I'll talk to you soon.